Hello everyone, and welcome to another traditional draft of Crimson WoW. And again, I get to open with a bomb. Um, Although if you did watch my previous draft, I did open with a bomb that I never got to really cast. So let's hope I can cast this one. There's also an amazing common. This is probably, if not the best common, at least in top 3 easily, depending on how you kind of rate the commons. This and upgrade, I think, are the best 2 commons in the set, but there are a few other very nice commons too. Also, the wedding security is a decent uncommon, but this is mostly good in black red and maybe not so good in other black decks. Alright, well, I mean, of course, the pick is this one, so let's take it, the purveyor here. And did I get something for black that I wanna follow it up with? Yes, there is. There are 3 cards that are black. The Gluttonous Quest, I like it a little bit more than the Gift of Fangs, and of course the Mind Lich Gold is, while playable, still very unexciting card, and I wouldn't be picking that one here. There's also the Resistance Squad, which is interesting in a deck with a lot of humans, and you can draft those decks in this format almost for, well, it's best in white and green, but other color combinations can have enough humans to make this thing draw the card consistently enough, but there's no reason to take a non-black card here because the Gluttonous Quest is really decent here no matter what, and I just get to keep drafting black here, hoping to at least play my bomb rare. That's the idea here. And based on this pack, black does seem to be open, so a couple of decent options here. I mean, actually, all the black cards except for the Doomed Dissenter are cards I'm actually interested in here. So definitely I'm taking just a black card here. Child of the Pack is the best card in the pack, but it doesn't really go well with the Bloodwell Purveyor, which is double caster, so I'll just keep drafting black, and I think I could see picking any of the Wedding Security, the Undead Butler, Gluttonous Quest number 2, or even the Ragged Recluse. Although I probably would take the Wedding Security over the Recluse, because both kind of want to have blood tokens, and this is just a better thing to synergize. Now this is actually allowing me to find the Bloodwell Purveyor a little bit easier. It's really tough here actually. I'm not taking the red grid. I think, okay, fine, I'll take the Wedding Security. It might be I mean, like I said, it's the best in black and red deck. Not so good in other black decks, but it's really good if you have even like a couple of blood tokens when you get to attack with it. So I'm not sure. Maybe I should have taken the 2-drop or something, but I'm not unhappy about this pick. Alright, so I could still be just taking a black card, a Grisly Ritual, not the greatest. But then again, I think I like most, or the Flourishing Hunter most out of these things, but I'll take the black 6-mana card here and see what am I going to pick now. Well, I don't think the Skulking Killer is really good at all. I guess you could sideboard it in. This is a best of 3 draft, so you could sideboard it in some very specific scenario, but it asks too much. It asks that the opponent has only 1 creature on the battlefield, and that creature has at most 2 toughness. That's really rare. So I'm definitely not a good card. The Wildspawn Spider is easily the best card in the pack, but again, doesn't go well with my double black cards in here. There's no red here, so I think I'll take what I consider the next best card here, which is the Flourishing Hunter here. Okay, well, Catapult Fodder doesn't. Okay, actually, out of my 4 creatures, 2 of them does synergize with the fodder, so maybe it's time to take that. And if I'm by no means I'm a green right now after picking 1 green card. I could still take something like a Rich Wolf here, or just on Evolving Wilds, but I take the fodder because this has the potential to be really good. Alright, so well, this is not a great pack, but I'm actually taking the Weary Prisoner. First of all, it does work well with the Catapult Fodder, and this deck with the Bomb Rare the 5 drop and the 6 mana removal spell can be a little bit of a late game focused deck. Black Red doesn't have to be an aggressive deck, so I think I'll take this one over the Courier Bat, which I don't think is really good. I guess I have the Gluttonous Quest for it, but I'll take the Weary Prisoner, and I would be quite happy to just be Black Red in here, although this pack doesn't have any red. White has been quite open here, so maybe I could have moved to that in the last pack. I think there was a white card in there. Maybe it was a Militia Rallier, but oh well. I don't think I'm taking another Grizzly Ritual. Aim for the Head is a nice sideboard card, but there's also Spore Crawler, so if I'm going to be black-green, Spore Crawler is the card I should have out of these options in here. Alright, so now there's a Paris Blade Trainee. So it's not a great card, but it is a 2-drop, and I really need 2-drops, and it seems like white is quite open. I don't think I want to take another Weary Prisoner here. I'll take the 2-mana white card. Maybe I should have understood a bit earlier that white is an open color here. I don't even care about this blue card here. I'll take the Beckweiler, just in case I will be ending up black-white, and that then I could use the this at least works with the catapult fodder. That's mainly the idea. I don't like this tapper too much otherwise. Alright, Toxic Scorpion or the Recluse. I'll take the Recluse. Don't think I miss the Scorpion too much, even if I end up black-green here. The Retrieve, Scarp, Ancestral Anger. I don't know. Don't really care about any of this stuff, so let's take the Anger. I mean, whatever. Okay, Witch's Web is actually a playable green card. Has a last pick, that's pretty nice. And then there's a Welcoming Vampire. Well, I mean, it's a pretty good one, and I could be black-white here, so I guess I should have picked a bit earlier for some of those white cards in the previous pack. But of course, I had no way of knowing that I'm gonna open exactly a white, very, very good, rare, maybe even a bomb rare, but at least a very, very efficient card. So I'll take the Welcoming Vampire here over basically a Flame Blessed Bolt here. I mean, it's a really easy pick here. Let's take it, and if white-black is somewhat open, I'm happy about that. Although I did pass a bunch of good white cards, so my white might not be that open to this direction. Anyway, I have a white 2-drop here, and I need those 2-drops, so I'll just take that one here over the Blood Crazed Socialite here. Alright, and then Desperate Farmer, sure. Okay, green didn't seem to be open to this direction either. There's some red here, but I'll just take the Farmer here. And then there's a Valorous Stance over whatever. I mean, this is actually a pretty decent card, so let's take it here. And I will cut now all the red and green stuff. I never picked anything blue here, so this is the deck so far. Now, I'm not a big fan of this card unless I have a bunch of Disturb creatures or just, enchantments otherwise, which I don't, so I think I'll take a Blood Fountain here. And here. This deck is not for Nurturing Presence, I'm pretty sure about that. I have already a bunch of 3s. I don't really care about this Desperate Farmer here too much. There's the card draw spell too. It gives me a Blood Token, which works with the Wedding Security. If I want to play the security, maybe I should take one of these. I really don't like the Mind Lich Girl that much. I'll take the card draw. And another Heron Blessed Geist. Another Desperate Farmer. I might even just consider the Undying Malice here actually. Yeah, I'll take the Undying Malice here. I just don't need that much 3-drops anymore. So that's the reason I chose that card. Okay, now very easy. Another 2-drop. I really need these 2-drops, so I'm very happy to get to pick 8 reasonable 2-drop here still. I'm not interested in the other Grizzly Ritual. Okay, still not picking a Skulking Killer, because I think Aim for the Head is just a better sideboard card. And yeah, I have one Catapult Fodder, but that doesn't make me want to pick the Unhallowed Phalanx. Maybe if I had 3 of these Fodders, then I could actually want to play, and I would want to play an Unhallowed Phalanx with 3 Catapult Fodders. 1 is not enough. I take this for the sideboard. And Blood Servitor. I don't even have an Evolving Wild, so the likelihood I'm gonna splash something is very, very low. So Blood Servitor or another Aim for the Head. I don't think I will sideboard 2 of those guys in, so I guess I can take the Servitor. Another unholy efficient or unhallowed phalanx on something. Is this an unset? Whatever, I'll take the 1-drop. Vampire Slayer, hey, that's actually a reasonable 2-drop. I mean, not in the main deck, but as a sideboard card for sure. Yeah, as a sideboard card, it's reasonable. And if I need to, sorry, where it is here. So if I need a 2-drop still while I'm building my deck, this is as a 2-mana 2/2, it does the job still. Okay, look at this pack and imagine if you opened in a sealed deck event. This pack, Dormant Crow, Rending Flame, and Halan and Alina would be such a nice set of green and red cards, and still some playable green and red. In addition to that, this would be an amazing pack to open in sealed, assuming your 5 other packs would also have a normal amount of red and green here. Anyway, none of this is for me, and I will take here. I think normally I would take the Diecraft Scavenger, but now because I have some interest in blood tokens, I'll take the Socialite, which helps with the flipping the Ragged Recluse and helps the wedding security to be, an actual decent card. Alright, here Hero's Downfall over the Sicarda's Imprisonment. Other cards I'm interested in: Drogskull Infantry, Gluttonous Quest, Diecraft Scavenger, Gift of Fangs, actually a very nice. Oh, and there's a Traveling Minister also, which I would be happy to take. So I'm passing here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards I wouldn't mind having, so maybe some of them will come back to me. Other good cards in this pack. This pack is pretty amazing actually. There's a Ballista Watcher, Flame Blessed Bolt, there's a Falconrod Celebrant, or a very high pick red cards. So this pack is just crazy good. Alright. Actually, a quite nice follow-up for the sealed. The pack that pack 1 I opened. The pack 3 that I opened in this draft was very good for red and green, and that previous pack was also very good for red. So just fun observation, doesn't have any practical meaning here. In terms of this draft, it's just fun to observe those kind of sealed packs sometimes. Alright, so I think the Restless Bloodseeker is the thing. Although I won't be gaining that much life, but I think I still want. Am I gonna gain life? No, I'm not. But I think I still take it. Maybe I can find some way to gain life. Oh, I don't know though. But I just didn't want to take yet another formula card, although I don't have a ton of them. Actually, that I think was a mistake. I should have taken the. Wasn't there a Diecraft Scavenger there? Because this doesn't really do anything if you can't gain life. I guess if you have 2 blood tokens, you can. Yeah, I guess if you have blood tokens from other sources, yeah, then this can flip and you can have this nice activated ability. Fine, it's okay. Anyway, I'll take the Evolving Bulge here over the options in there. Here, another trainee, Griffin Cavalry. I don't like to usually play multiple of these trainees. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's enough 2-drops. I take the Cavalry now. It's not gonna be. It's not easy to train it a lot though. But I don't know. Maybe I can train it a bit. Whatever. I'll take it. Wasn't a great pack actually. Okay, here Traveling Minister is the pick. That is really good. So let's take it. Also does work nicely with the Restless Bloodseeker. Anyway, here I'm not gonna play any of these. I have already 2 Officiants and I'm probably gonna cut one or both of them. So I'll take the Geist just in case I for some reason would be interested in such an effect. Alright, so the Kindly Ancestor. I don't have any of these Gift of Fangs though. Maybe I should have the 1 mana removal here. I do like how the Kindly Ancestor is kind of decent in multiple ways. It does work with the Catapult Fodder. It helps me with my life gain synergies. Okay, actually I'll take it. But Gift of Fangs is actually a card I usually want to have access to. No one took the Dormant Grave here. Sorry, Dormant Crow, not Grave. Why? That is a really good card, but I'm not gonna splash it. I'll take the Dissenter if for some reason that's the kind of 2-drop I want to have. Oh, wow. I have passed like 5 Gift of Fangs in this draft or something like that. I don't know exactly, but I think I still like the Traveling Minister more. But it would be nice to have one of these, but I just think the Traveling Minister is better. I'll take it. Okay. I finally got one of these. Wow. Okay, that was fun draft. I'm not gonna main deck 2 of these. Fine. And one more pack left. Okay, that was, at least my colors were open, especially in pack 3. Okay, there's one black card, one white card here. This is not a main deck card, and this is not a card I want to play 2 of. I have one here already somewhere. So that is 49 cards. This is rather easily a 17 land deck, so I will be cutting 9 cards here. And I think I'll take both of the officiants from the deck now, because while they do synergize, actually something to note is that they do synergize with the catapult fodder, because they have more toughness than power. It's still not the kind of one drop I want to have here, because I have 2 traveling ministers, which I definitely will be playing here. And then I might not have room for the Undying Malice. I'm actually quite sure I won't be playing it in the main deck. And then Vampire Slayer doesn't have to be played in the main deck. I have enough 2 drops, and the Doomed Dissenter doesn't synergize in any way here, really. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-mana cards, and then there's a couple of traveling ministers and a Gift of Fangs, which I also can sometimes use early in the early turns, so to kill an opponent to a 1-drop. So I think this is enough early game. But now I will cut the Distracting Geist from the main deck. It's not a card you usually want to be playing unless you are super aggressive, and this deck actually doesn't seem to be any aggressive, so I find it quite unlikely that I would ever sideboard this thing even in. And then this is gonna work both with the life gain stuff, which I don't have too much of, but the Restless Bloodseeker is life gain stuff, and then of course it has more toughness than power, so it also works with the catapult fodder here. And this is just in general a decent card. You don't have to synergize with life gain or something like that. This is a pretty decent 3-drop. And then because lifelink is unlimited, is also something that makes it hard for the opponent to raise. And this not only has lifelink, but also it gives a lifelink aura after it has died. So it's just a solid playable no matter what. And here I think it's pretty easy to cut the Blood Servitor now that, I mean, I actually could play it, but I have enough 3-mana cards, and this is just a weak otherwise, but it does. My deck cares about Bloodsoakers, but I'm gonna cut it anyway. And I think I'm gonna cut the Heron-Blessed Geist. I'd rather play these 5-mana cards. And now this is actually 24 now, so let's see the 3 drops here. Yeah, I do like the rest of these 3-mana cards, and I think it's an easy Shield Passer that I'm gonna cut from this deck. I do like the Beckwaller here now, because this is a little bit of a late game focused deck. And the Griffin Cavalry can get some counters thanks to the Traveling Ministers perhaps, and also the double Drogskull Infantry, because these have the +2/+2 aura option. Naturally my creatures don't have a lot of power, so it won't be that easy to train this thing, but with the Ministers and like I said, with the double Drogskull armaments, I think it's possible to train it. And even if you can't train it, this has the triggered ability when it attacks, so you can push some damage through with your ground guys by making them fly, thanks to the cavalry. So this is a card I can easily see cutting from decks, from this deck against when I'm playing against decks that have easy. I mean, they have a decent amount of blockers for a 2/2 flyer, so definitely can be cut easily. But I will start it with it in the main deck, and this is actually 23 cards here. Yeah, I think this is a fine main deck. I also have a lot of creatures that have power 2 or less, so I can do it like this. Type creature, come on, and then can I have type right, and power less than 3. I think this should work. So now it actually puts all the creatures on this top row here. All the cards that satisfy these criteria here. So there are creatures as the type, and power less than 3. I guess power less than 3 would have been enough alone, because of course unless it's like unless it's a vehicle, things won't have power. Alright, anyway, point is, look at all these cards. That's like a 7, 12. That's 14 cards. Well, this is one of them. So there are 13 other things that trigger this ability. So it's really easy to draw cards from this card in this deck. So pretty good Welcoming Vampire. So I have 2 legit bombs. I mean, this Pervert is just a crazy good bomb, and the Welcoming Vampire is the kind of a bomb that is rather easy to deal with. It has only 3 toughness after all. But if this, is on the battlefield for a few turns, you get so many free cards out of it that it's gonna be very, very good advantage for you. And of course, a 3-mana 2/3 that flies and can block all kinds of creatures. It's also stat-wise completely a bit above a curve what you get usually in limited. Anyway, this is it. 17 creatures, 6 non-creatures. Deck doesn't have a lot of removal. That is the bad part of the deck. So there's a Gift of Fangs, there's a Hero's Downfall, and then there's a Tapper in here, and the 6-mana removal. And then there are 2. Well, there's something like, okay, Blood Fountain is not removal. Okay, there's a Valorous Stance, so there is that. So there's some interaction here. I'm not that worried about it after all. Okay, it's pretty easy. 10 white, 13 black. I have black double cast as multiple of those, but I have also multiple white early drops, so I want to have both mana available for me, so it's gonna be an 8+8 basics in addition to this Evolving Wilds. I like the mana base quite a bit. Let's have this one. So that's the main deck, and it's a best of 3 event, so I will be able to sideboard various different cards. I have actually quite a decent amount of things I can consider sideboarding, but it all depends on what the opponent is playing. So this is yet another black and white deck. I have had a lot of these in my past, like 5 to 10 drafts, but I mean, you saw how the draft went. Who wouldn't have gone black-white here, given the rares I opened, for instance? Alright, this is a very nice hand. I'm on the draw, but it's still, I mean, this would be even better on the play. Opponent did mulligan though. I'll keep 7. So 2-drop, 3-drop, and probably these 4 drops can be played on a curve, because it's quite likely that I can draw a land in my top 4 cards. Okay, let's see. Opponent kept 6. And I know it's not a 2-drop, 3-drop. It is 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, and so on. Really, really fantastic stuff here. Okay, and the opponent was... they had to keep a 1-lander. Okay, and I will actually make a Blood Token here instead of playing the 2/2 here. I wanna just start... I will actually transform this thing on the next turn. Well, not on the next turn, but... yeah, activate as a sorcery. You get the Blood Token on the... in the end step. Well, okay, they drew a land, but I mean that's the thing that makes this game at least somewhat still fair. So, oh, I could actually transform it right away. Why wouldn't I? So, because I can make the quest here happen, and I will, of course. I don't need to use the Gift of Fangs for anything, and this will still create the Blood Token end step because I gained life. And I will gain even more when I sacrifice those. Yeah, so sure. Let's do this. Now I have a 4/3 for now. It's because of the pump effect there, and I will still get a Blood Token here. So even if they kill this, I still have a blood here left. Okay, they did draw two lands back to back, which they needed. For them, it's not that great though, because I have this is a human, so I can just kill it. Yeah, this is almost assuredly a game over, because I'll just do this attack for 5 here, unless they want to jump block. Then I can still play a Drogskull Infantry, and with the Evolving Wilds I do have the 4th mana available for my 4 drops, so it's very hard to imagine them winning this game. There is a white 5 mana Wrath effect in the format, but they are 2 lands away from that, and I think I can win. Well, I mean, they did draw 3 planes back to back after missing the land drop for 1. So now this is the kind of position where I can afford to play around Wrath effects, because that's probably the only thing I can lose to, especially because I just drew a Hero's Downfall, which I can use to destroy a very problematic blocker they might have coming up. The stuff they have here, they are not problematic. So let's see, if they want to double block this Reveler, I guess, be my guest. If they wanna double block the Gluttonous, yeah, I'll just do it like this and see what happens. I mean, I have the option to use the Hero's Downfall, but I'm actually not going to do that. Okay, well, they chose to... the correct way here to do is to put a stop in this stop of, this stop of their damage, and then let the damage happen, because this is still an attacking creature at the end of combat. But now I, of course, let them scry, and now I can even choose to kill the Drogskull Infantry. They scribe to top. I can choose to kill it so that I won't be losing my Reveler here. And if they happen to have a a Wrath effect, sacrifice up to 13, each player sacrifices up to 13 creatures. I still have 2 very good 4-drops here left, so I think I'm going to save my Reveler now by killing this before damage gets dealt. Don't care about the Grief Rider at all. Okay, and they didn't have a Wrath because, well, that's actually very good. No, well, I mean, they knew what their top card is because they scry to top. So basically, I can't say, based on this information, that their deck doesn't have a Wrath effect, because they know what they have in their hand and they know what they're gonna draw. So, but I mean, of course, the assumption is usually that the opponent doesn't have a specific rare in their deck. So, but let's say they didn't scry to top, and then, well, I guess even in that case, they know the Wrath costs 5, and if they didn't have the Wrath in their hand, they needed both the Wrath and the land. So, I mean, it goes pretty technical here, but I try to take everything into account, and I hope I don't bore you with this stuff. But sometimes playing around Wraths, even if you don't know if your opponent's deck has it, makes sense. And that was the kind of position where it does make sense, because I was so far ahead otherwise. All right, so I didn't, of course, see. I mean, I don't even know if they're mono black. Sorry, they are probably not mono black, but if they're mono white or not. So I only saw the Grief Rider, the Drogskull Infantry, another Grief Rider, and the Piercing Light. So not a lot to work with. Is there something that's particularly bad? The Gift of Fangs is definitely good against the 3-mana 2/1s. Valorous Stance might not have a thing to destroy, but it still has the indestructible option. So I'm gonna still play it. White can have stuff like Nebelcast Beguiler, which I can use, against which I can use the Valorous Stance as a removal spell too. No need for the Vampire Slayer. No need for a 3/3 flyer, I don't think. No need for the aim for the head. Undying Malice could be like an okay card against the Piercing Light, but what would I be cutting if I am gonna put that in? I guess the Valorous Stance might be the card that I'm going to cut. Well, you know what? Before I see a creature that has 4 or more toughness, I'm gonna make the cut here. I'm gonna make this one sideboarding decision here. And now let's see, they have like a white-green deck that has a ton of 4 toughness creatures or more, but we'll see, we'll see. Alright, well, I'm not gonna cut this hand. This needs a lot. I need a swamp very soon, and of course multiple lands to play the 4-drops, but with double Traveling Minister I will actually have a bunch of time here to find my lands, and that is still good, because now that means that at least I can play the Griffin Cavalry after I draw any land, even if it is a 4th plains. And that is a 4th plains now, so let's do this. And I get to gain 2 life a turn, so I'm not so worried about... And they are white-red, so let's see how many 4 toughness creatures they have, because my Valorous Stance currently isn't in the deck. Alright, so what I do here, okay, this is great. So of course I'm gonna pump the other guy. So this is, so yeah, this, and then I'm gonna attack for 2 rather than gain another point of life here. I will have a blocker for the 2/2, and if they wanna trade here, hey, be my guest. I don't mind the trade at all. So I can actually play a normal game here now that I drew the swamp specifically. Oh right, Stensi Uprising. Well, that will be causing a lot of trouble to me. Yep. Well, well, this is 3. Okay, I can attack for 3 here. That's actually quite decent still. They have only jump block, but I doubt they're gonna jump block. They just take 3 here, why wouldn't they? And now, if I play the Griffin Cavalry, odds are they will just leave the Griffin Rider to block. And it will trade with this. Although it won't trade with it, because I can pump the Gluttonous Quest twice, it will, yeah. I mean, they can still have removal, but if they don't, I can actually train this with the current board state. And then I can, you know, make the Gluttonous Quest to fly if I want to. They are not yet at 13. They are not yet at 13 permanents, so they're not gonna check this for 7. Okay, Vampire Slayer, it's actually decent against the Gluttonous Quest, but I can make it fly. And I can then play the Paris Blade Train, and I can also use 1 mana for the Blood Token, which I should, and if I plan to do that, I should do it right now in case I find something even better here. So I need 1 white. Well, I will play the Plains no matter. I mean, I'll play the Plains no matter what. So let's just do it like this. Okay, to get rid of this guy. Get 1 life here. Okay, they have priority, so they have something, sadly. Hero's Downfall is good, but not necessary right now. So, of course, it seems like they have now something, but there's not much I can do about it. I'm gonna just gain my life. I mean, it could be an upgrade on the Griffin Cavalry. But then it is. Now at least they have to do it. Okay, they still let me attack, so I can make this fly if I want to. And I have to, because this will destroy the Gluttonous Quest. Yeah. The ability will trigger now, even if it gets killed by an upgrade. I will get to make this Gluttonous Quest to fly. So I will pay the 2 here. Make it a counter. Do they go to... Okay, they didn't have it. I guess they have a pump spell. But next turn they can sacrifice this for 7 damage. But I guess they will kill the Griffin Cavalry and then... At least then I don't have to worry about the 1/1 tokens anymore. Okay, that's gonna mean a bunch of life gain for them. So they are attacking with the... No. Okay, just for 6. Well, I have no good block, so I'm gonna take all the 6 here. And they will have a 13th permanent now, so... Actually, that no longer happens, because it has to be exactly 13. So they didn't want to sacrifice it. Which is a bit odd, I guess. Because, I mean, they have a huge board here, of course. I will go to 15. And I can train here. I mean, let's count or calculate whatever it is. The amount of damage they can deal. 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. That's 14. I'll be at 15. They can train this guy, but I will have a blocker slash. And I will have this as a blocker too, because what I'm doing here now is a traveling minister, the cavalry, and I guess the trainee doesn't really matter, because these won't be blocked here. Then I will attack with these things. It's not gonna be a lethal, it's actually very close to lethal. I mean, it's gonna be 7 out of... I only needed 2 more here. But I can't deal the 2 in any way, I don't think I can. So now this is gonna be an interesting... So I could also use the Hero's Downfall if they have a pump spell. Because, I mean, I can have 1 blocker here, or I can have just a straight up removal spell. Now if if they don't lose guys, they don't get to deal the 7 here. I need to make it such blocks that they don't get to. I mean, if they have a pump, I think it might be better. So currently what's gonna happen, they're gonna deal 14, based on the board state alone here, they're gonna deal 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 14 damage. Plus this will get trained, so it's 15, but I can block 1 of their guys. And then I will kill the thing that they're gonna boost with something. then I'm gonna win on my turn. Because if I play the Socialite, I block 2 of their things. And then there's the problem that if they lose 2, this will be lethal. Actually, but then again, oh, I can't. Yes, I can. Okay, this is how it goes. I should play the like this, you know, not play the Socialite. They will attack with everything, and I will just make sure that I make such a block that. I mean, if they have both a removal spell and a pump spell, then I will be in bad shape. But they need them both. So they can untap that. I don't think that matters. I will have a lethal attack anyway. And they will gain 1 life from the panicked bystander because I have to kill something here, I think. Well, let's go to blockers first. So I'm definitely not gonna kill any of their guys. I don't want to. I don't want them to be able to deal me 7 with the uprising. That's the thing, and I wanna prevent the most damage possible here. So that's it. And then I will not take lethal. It's 5, 8. That's 12 currently. So I will be at 3 in the end. I hope they just have like a short strike and something, and I will in response use my hero's downfall. Yeah, if they have more than 13 permanents, they can't sacrifice this. They have an adamant will, which is not enough. That's 5 plus 3. That's 8, 10. No, did I miss? No, I'm blocking this 3-3 here. So that's 4, 7, 9. That's 14 currently. How do I lose 1 life here? The problem is that if they have another adamant will, I mean, they're gonna. If they have another pump spell, they are gonna. I guess if they have double adamant, okay, fine, whatever. Let's kill this in response. I mean, if this is. If they had double adamant will, then I would have lost. But now I don't think I am because they will go to 14 permanents and they can't sack that, and this is it. Yeah. So the trick there was to, in fact, not block anything that would have died. But I guess I wanted to block the 3 power creature anyway. But the token that they produced now was the permanent number 14, and then this won't trigger, you know, the sacrifice part of this card. Okay, well, all is fine. I won the match. I didn't even draw either of my bomb rares. If I can call the Welcoming Vampire bomb rare, I guess I can. It's so many free card draws. But in neither of the games, I drew it. I didn't draw either of them in either of the games. Alright, I will keep these. I have the black mana here. I will still play that Minister on turn 1, of course. But I don't have any turn 2 play, or actually don't have a turn 3 play either, so I think the Evolving Wilds making the land enter tapped is not a problem here. I do miss my 2-drop here, but I can play this thing on turn 4, no on turn 3, unless I draw something better to play. And I will actually start creating the Blood Tokens too with the Traveling Minister, unless the Minister would die. But since they didn't kill it on turn 1 and 2, okay, they have that. Fine, be my guest. I'll take 4, but I will gain some life here now. And the 1-3 is actually good enough to block the. Oh well, that is. Well, wait a minute. This is interesting now, because it's so much more mana efficient to play the fodder now, because that leaves me the option on the next turn to play the Restless Bloodseeker and kill something that potentially has 4 more toughness. They could have even the green common, that's a 4 mana 4/4. So I should play the fodder, and I do. I think I do like more to deal damage here than gain life here. Even though they are, you know, currently leading in terms of life totals, but I have a good blockers now here, so hopefully. Although this thing actually does care about having blood tokens, but yeah, I want to have the option to. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna play this anyway. I wasn't gonna play the Restless Bloodseeker because of the mana efficiency here, but I could have still thought that I'm in a good position to win the late game. Maybe. I don't know about their hand, of course. And I could have just gained a life just in case, instead of dealing one. But Nature's Embrace with no land drop. Okay, that means they have 5 spells in their hand. Gift of Fangs. I don't think I care about it now, currently. This is just a 2-2. It's pretty irrelevant. So I'm gonna just... This triggers if I gained life that turn. It doesn't have to be on the battlefield when I gain the life. So they're never gonna jump block here, but I mean, still makes more sense to do it like this. Now I will play the Bloodseeker here, and now they have access to more mana, so the Balado stance is, you know, gonna be better than... Oh, actually I didn't even have the option to... I mean, if I played the Gift of Fangs, I wouldn't have had the black mana to play the Bloodseeker, so that was the only reasonable play there. So let's see what they can muster up. Do they have 6 spells now in hand, or did they draw a land? Now I have still 4 very decent spells near, and a good board situation too. Weary Prisoner. Okay, well that's something for Balado stance. That's actually pretty darn amazing here. Toughness 4 or greater. Like so. No blocking for you, sir. And then... Okay, well with the Swamp I will play the Wedding Security. I was considering to use just the Gift of Fangs, but of course it's not gonna happen now. So I'm gonna attack with this guy. And then I will be... There's no point attacking with this. I mean, I guess they could still not block the 1-5, and I have this as a blocker, so maybe I lost 1 damage there, but I thought it's pretty likely that they will be blocking the 1-5 if I attack, but maybe I should have still attacked. But now at least if they attack, I'll just maybe block with the fodder and take away their trick there. Yeah, this is gonna draw me cards with these blood tokens. I'm not gonna sacrifice them for this thing. Okay, they have a lot of course a red-green deck will have targets for the Balado stance. I did not draw a 6th land yet, so they have their total of 4 power. But the Wedding Security will be a 5-5. I'm thinking about the Gift of Fangs, but I kind of want to draw the land card first, sorry. So this will be, when I attack, I can sacrifice a blood token, draw a card, and make this a 5-5, so they don't have a good block. If they want to jump block with the combatants, be my guest. But there's no point in attacking with the rest of these guys. I mean, I guess I could attack with the Catapult Fodder and then use the Gift of Fangs to kill the Lambhound Raconteur. Because they can't double. Yeah, okay, that is making sense. I should attack for 7 now. They don't have good blocks. 5 toughness is quite a lot. Because this is a werewolf, it's not a vampire. Oh right, well there's a vampire. So they might just, you know, block with the Raconteur and I get to finish it off with the Gift of Fangs here. Which is exactly what happened here, and then I can just -2 here, play the Welcoming Vampire. This is just, look at all this stuff. Of course opponent is stuck in mana, but then again they do have access to 4 mana, so maybe they just have extremely expensive cards in their hand. Now they have 5 mana, but I have a Grisly Ritual, for which I don't have the mana yet, but I have multiple threats they need to deal with. That they can bloody betrayal that thing. Do they have some kind of a sacrifice for it? If they want to, they can draw a card and make it to 6/6 for me, but let's see. I'll take 6. Yeah, no big deal. No blocks there. So do I have an... Okay, I have an even bigger, and they have no other place. So well, that is going to be a game over then. I'm not gonna even... I mean, I'll just kill this and attack for lethal. Maybe this was lethal anyway, but why would I bother here? That even transformed there. Oh, was I able to transform this? I guess I was. I mean, I could have done this previous turn. I missed that, I think. If I played the vampire pre-combat there. Yeah. Well, I guess there was well, I was gonna play the vampire anyway. Yeah, I should have played this pre-combat in the previous turn. I haven't played a lot with this captain, so let's chalk it up to that. Alright, red, green. Well, they have this defensive thing, then they have also 2-4. So I'm gonna rely on my flyers. I think I might want to have the Heron Blessed Geist here now as a result. Because my ground guys will be easily, stopped by their high toughness creatures. The Griffin Cavalry will be good. I still like the Bequiler here though. Do I even have a lot of ground guys I'm planning to use on attacks? I guess the game plan could be more like win with the flyers and removal. I guess the Ragged Recluse. Alright, that might be the least interesting card here. I could see cutting it. I didn't see them having too aggressive stuff going on. Maybe I can save off a 2-drop for now and play the 3-3 flyer instead, because this is a good way to connect damage against the red and green deck. Yeah, I think I like that sideboarding. Okay, let's see if they will curve out. Well, I have a decent hand. This I saw will have targets in there. Hey, that's the first time I see that thing. Pretty good. They have a 2-drop, but I have a very defensive 3-drop here. And I don't take more than 2 here. They don't have a... Okay, they are missing a land drop again. Not really great for them because I have this Purveyor. Now they do have the Steal a Creature card, so I have to be a bit careful, but yeah, alright. Well, I'm just gonna play the Purveyor. It'll be quickly over. I'm at 18, so I don't care about the Steal a Creature card now at all. Yeah, they are very soon gonna die. They don't even have attacks there. Okay. Deal 6. Play the Socialite. More blood, which I'm not even going to, I'm not gonna discard this Swamp here. I might want to hit my land drops here still with the pointed discussion, drawing me more cards. Now, if they really want to steal this Purveyor, they can deal, 7 damage to me because I have a couple of blood tokens. But then I will be at 11, and then they are almost gonna die on the next turn. Actually, they would be... yeah, almost dying. Okay, let's see what's their play now. If they're gonna attack with the Disciples, what would I do here? Okay, they have a Weaver here. Don't have to worry about any attacks there now. Well, I guess they can still attack with them both. I will block the other one and then they will lose on my counter attack. So yeah, though they are not attacking. Because this has many, so I would be having just a lethal attack, I think. Would I? That's a 5-5. 9. Well, no, it wouldn't quite be lethal, but it would be very close. Anyway, they did not attack. Huh. So how do I do it? Probably just play the pointed discussion first. Do I want to leave up an extra white sauce? I guess not. Alright. So... can't leave up mana up for the Valorous stance here. I mean, I can, but I can't play both the infantry and the stance. That was my idea there, but let's just do this now. And actually, I will gain here life, because this, of course, works no matter how I sacrifice the token here. So if they want to now double block, I will of course, you know, kill the Blossoms and the Disciple here. It's not quite lethal, and of course I can save it by using the Valor stance, which I might do. Yeah, I definitely want to have the Menace threat in there. Okay, they're gonna jump block with those guys. Well, that's definitely very good for me. And now I can just, I'm not gonna die here anymore, so I can play the infantry. Is there something that they can, I don't know, let's just play the infantry and the blood fountain. It's really, I mean, they can find a kill spell on this Purveyor, but yeah, I'm asking too many questions. They don't have mana to answer everything here. At least I hope so. Even killing this is not trivial because even the uncommon red kill spell deals only 5. So I guess they could have the Toxic Scorpion and a Wolf Strike, but that will take all the 5 mana they have available, and then they will lose to my counter attack. Well, almost. The Toxic Scorpion could still block here the Drogskull Infantry. They're gonna make it into a knight, so this is gonna be a 3-4 that tapping for 2. Well, conveniently for me, I have the Valor stance. I can just kill this right away, or I can use this to, you know, save whatever they're trying to kill. And I have, okay, now I maybe should do this because I still have the Valor stance up, because I can transform this now. I can transform this now pre-combat because, or at the beginning of combat, because I have 3 creatures that have more toughness. So let's do it like this and see what they're gonna conjure here. I'm gonna just attack with everything, and I think it's better to use the Valor stance to, you know, save the Purveyor, which is gonna be lethal here, than you know, kill this. Let's just go here and sacrifice a blood token here. So they try to kill the Purveyor with some combination of cards, block the infantry and take 6, and they will be at 1. Then of course the Catapult Fodder is the next thing they have to, next 6 toughness creature they have to kill. And of course all that is gonna be, I mean, because of the Valor stance, their kill spell won't be working, so they can use the blood tokens in response, so this only deals, what, 5 instead of 7, but this is still a lot of, I mean, this Menace guy alone is gonna put them to 2, so let's see what they find here now. Yeah, the opponent had mana problems in both of the games, and I had pretty darn good curves. Yeah, I did. So, and I got the amazing Bomb Blade. But to be fair, if my turn 4 play wasn't this 5-6 and it was only the, you know, the Socialite, and this was some other spell, I would have been, you know, in an amazingly good shape, even in that case. It took more than a minute to find an opponent, so this opponent might not be at 2 wins and 0 losses. It's possible. I get to be on the play, and I get to have a, well, let's say, no 2-drops, no 1-drops, but with the Blood Vial Purveyor and the mana to cast it, it's gonna be a very good start. Of course there are removal in this set that can answer this thing, but not red ones. Depends on the other color. And I have this life linker coming up on the next turn, so even if they curve out 1-drop, 2-drop, I have at least some blocker in here. Ceremonial Knife is not that worrisome here. I don't mind about the lands here because I have the Grisly Ritual that costs 6 and the Pointed Discussion to find me more spells. Let's see if they can upgrade this Ancestor or do something else. Well, no, only a Gluttonous Quest. Not bad though. But now, the true question is, can they... deal with the purveyor. Now with black they can have even a common removal spell. If they have a swamp, they can give this thing a -13, and it will exile. I can't even return it with the blood fountain in that case. That said, I will still just attack here. I will bluff them a bit. They don't have a good block here, so I mean they're gonna block with the quest, but I'm gonna use these stops to kind of present some kind of a combat trick. So they might take just 2 here, or they just wanna. I'm thinking here hard. Maybe I don't use my adamant will right now because I wanna play my bomb rare. So this is the only basically reasonable thing to do. So if they have the removal spell for it, then they have it. Could be also Hero's Downfall, but even that requires another black. And the Hero's Downfall is only destroy effect, so I could return this at some point with the fountain. But now they do have the second black. Is it gonna be -13 or not? It's not. So if they're gonna attack, I'm not gonna block. Oh, Valorous Stance is actually interesting. Now they could have the Undying Malice that returns this thing, but if they don't, I'll just have a very good attack in here. So let's try it. Destroy creature with toughness 4 or greater. They of course have priority because of these blood tokens. If they want to gain the life from this thing, they should use it now. And then I can just play the pointed discussion post-combat. I guess I could have played it before doing this, but I just want to connect with the Ancestor. So I think it was... Okay, they have an Undying Malice. So that's good for them. They're gonna have a 2/5 now. It will enter tapped though, so I can attack with Ancestor and they got the blood token. Actually a couple of blood tokens, so they're gonna take about 9 from this Purveyor 6 stuff, but I guess they can sacrifice one of the blood tokens, so they... Well, I mean, it's too late now. They should have done it in response to the ability, so... it's no longer going to... Or they're just jumping the Ancestor. Sure, that's fine. And now I'll play the discussion here. I can, try to kill this with the, Grisly Ritual, although I didn't draw a land there yet. But the Catapult Fodder will actually transform. It will be 3 creatures with higher toughness than power, assuming these won't die now, of course. Which easily can happen. Alright, and there's the 6th. Well, I'm still playing the fodder here. And then I can play the infantry and the blood fountain and leave the ritual for a future turn. Let's see if they have they have to do it right now in my main phase to kill something here. They did not. They can do it in response to, because it's an intervening if. Yeah, okay, they could have done it in response to this ability. It would not have transformed. Anyway, now there's no... I guess I can attack with the Ancestor. It can gain me 2 life if they have a trick of some kind to deal with the Ancestor. Can't really say I care about it too much. They did not equip this, so they have something, or they just wanna, throw away all the blood tokens. But I think it's fine to attack with the Ancestor to gain the... I mean, mostly, I don't care about the gain 2 life. I just think that if they wanna use a card to get rid of the Ancestor here, I'm completely fine with that. And if they don't have anything, I just gain the 2 life for free anyway, which is, thing that can matter if they find a way to stabilize. I have no creatures in my graveyard, so the blood fountain isn't that useful yet. What? There's a forest. Okay, they are splashing for something. Well, gonna be some bomb. You don't really splash any non-bomb green cards. There's not like a wolf strike. I don't think it's really a splashable card, even though it is removal. So I'm gonna say it's some kind of a green bomb rare. Or maybe an uncommon. Could be the 4-mana enchantment that adds a counter to a creature. Anyway, they went for the, full discard of all the... Well, of course, understandable. They need to deal with the Purveyor. And now that they did the blood token stuff in response to this ability, they only take 5 now instead of whatever they were gonna take otherwise. So now I can just do all this stuff. And I still have the very, very relevant card in here. And this Catapult Fodder, it's gonna be a big threat to them now. They gained a bunch of life there, but it's not gonna really help them. Castle Dracula. well, which is the Wilderness Estate. So they can, okay, this opponent also plays the Bloody Betrayal. Can they sacrifice the Purveyor somehow? I guess I'll see right now. An exploit creature would work. That is an exploit creature, but I have the Blood Fountain for that, so it's good for them, but it's still kinda not good enough. So, any attacks here? I guess I'll just kill the quest. I don't want them to gain more life here. There's no rush with the Blood Fountain, is there? No. So what I will do here is just kill the quest and attack for 4 here. And if they want to trade, be my guest. I don't think I want to use the captain here. That is more valuable alive. So let's do this. They could have a Diecraft Scavenger to exile my creature card. I mean the Bum Rare. But as long as they don't gain more life, my Catapult Captain will be a problem. Okay, they have an Edgar's Awakening on this thing, which is... I mean, I don't know why they didn't use the Blood Token. I mean, the synergy with... I mean, they could have used the Blood Token to discard these pay... Okay, they just missed the interaction. I mean, they just paid 5 mana for this when they had the Blood Token there. So not only they would have gotten a free card draw, they could have, you know, played this for 1 mana instead of 5. So that was a mistake. Now the infantry doesn't have a good attack, so I'll just what do? I can return my 2. I guess I do want to play the Traveling Minister though, so that makes the infantry able to attack. So I guess I think I'll do it like this. I will discard one of the swamps here, because I will be tapping out here this turn anyway, unless I draw something that, you know, makes me change my mind. Well, or did I draw something? Oh heck yeah. Alright. More tough questions, and if they cannot exile this thing, if they can only destroy it, I can now return both the Wedding Security and the Bloodvial Purveyor. So my opponent did do a decent job of stabilizing there, but it's just too much I have here, I think. Wonder what the green card is. I haven't seen the green card. Yeah, they can't really attack. Okay, that's gonna be good. So if I discarded a card, so I have to activate one of these things. Sacrificing one for the Wedding Security won't be enough to satisfy this condition. But now let's just I mean, I guess I technically could attack with the Catapult Captain too. But I mean, in case they, you know, block the Wedding Security and have like a Sure Strike. But in that case, I'd rather just sacrifice this and throw the damage to their face. So I think I'll just suggest attacks. I know I could do some kind of tricks to, you know, to throw away the infantry, have the aura available, but I don't have mana to do all that. So let's just do this and see if I can draw a card here first. This will be a 5/5, so the block they have here is not going to be good unless they have a card that will help them somehow. Do they have a response to this? Okay, there's my card. I had a very good menace threat in here. So what they do with the 5? They have to jump block because the captain would be a problem otherwise. So they do have a Sure Strike, which means I will just use this. And how do I tap my mana? I need only 1 white here, I guess. Target opponent loses life equal to sacrifice creature's toughness. I don't think I can increase its toughness. I cannot. So the target opponent is there. Sack this guy. And I can play the Recluse and the Minister here. And they are basically dead unless they... Well, they have multiple things they need to do here. I mean, first of all, they can gain 1 life. And that's not enough. They have to kill the Catapult Captain. And then they have to deal with my board, which is, I mean, all of them, most of my creatures will be lethal here. If they gain the 1 life by attacking, they of course will have 2 lives, so the Traveling Minister alone won't be lethal. But let's see what cards they have. The Swamp and the Magma Pummeler. Okay, still don't see the green card there. That was also the final blood token, so they have only these 2 cards that need to deal with this stuff. I guess they can make 1 token, but it's too expensive. This is not even a vampire. So they can do that, and I can, you know, double block it if I want to, or take 4. Is there a mass removal effect? What can there be that makes this a bad choice to not block? Guess I can be at 12 here. Hopefully. I mean, if I just untap with the Catapult Captain, they are gonna need more life gain, because I can threaten to deal them 2 damage. Well, not damage, it's life loss. Yeah, I don't think there is. Hopefully there's not a card that can answer all this stuff. Okay, I didn't need the Blood Fountain after all. Okay, so black and red. There's a Sure Strike. There's a Bloody Betrayal, and I did not actually see a lot of exploit. The Fell Stinger is there, and that's kinda it. Of course they can have more, but I'm not too worried about the Betrayal, but I have to keep it in mind in case it's gonna be a tough raising situation. I don't want to go to a too low life total. So aim for the head, exile a zombie. I didn't really see. There's a Fell Stinger and there's nothing else I saw. Now, of course, the option to make them exile 2 cards from their hand is not, you know, that bad, but it's still a pretty clumsy 3-mana sorcery, so probably not worth it. I can kill the 3/2 with a Gift of Fangs as well. Is there anything else I wanna consider? I didn't see removal there, so I'm thinking about the Undying Malice. How about the Valorous Stance? It can kill the Squire, but this can also make itself indestructible, so it's not that reliable. It can kill the Magma Pummeler without it, you know, dealing any damage. So fine. I guess I can. There's not a lot of creatures. Yeah, I mean it's hard. I could see playing the Undying Malice instead of. How about the Vampire Slayer, by the way? Didn't see too many of vampires either. This is a vampire, but this is a vampire that can regenerate. Well, it's not regenerate, but the same thing basically nowadays. Make it indestructible. Alright, I mean 25 seconds time to do something if I wanna. If I want to do something. I'm not sure if I want to. I guess the Valorous Stance might be worse than the Undying Malice, so let's do that swap and see what they have. And if, of course, if I see cards that have more than 3 toughness, I will need to bring back the stance in case I won't be winning this game. But this is a decent hand. I had a pretty good set of starting hands in this event so far. I think there was one risky hand where I kept a hand without the black sauce, but I drew the black sauce quite quickly there. They have a 1-drop 2 as a thing that... But this is not so good against the infantry unless they have the knife. Do they want to kill the minister? It's definitely worth the removal spell. Oh, they choose to do that other way around. Interesting choice there, actually. A bit risky one. Because if I have a removal spell here now, this is gonna be a 2-for-1. Or just a very nice blocker. Here I think I will choose to gain a life. The catapult fodder will be blocking the 3/3 unless they have a... They could have the Sure Strike, of course. Sanguine Statuette. Okay, so they are an aggressive deck. Okay, and they can... Because this will gain haste if they do that, so they can deal now 6 to me. But I have the life gain here, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, and I got my Purveyor too, so that's really good. Alright, so... I think I am just... I mean, they can still discard a card to make these both 3/3s. I can block only one of them. I could also, you know, double block. But If they want to use their blood token on that, I don't mind. I mean, I will go to 9, and I have this still 1 life per turn again. So, but that said, they do have the steal a creature card. Okay, they go for it. Deal 3 more damage. They had the excess lands to discard here, so that was convenient for them. Do they have a sure strike for that thing? Or upgrade works too. Okay. So at least if I did double block, well, maybe it wouldn't have been that bad. Well, I mean, they don't have no more blood tokens unless they get more, of course, and they can easily get with the purveyor. But so now the thing is, I will lose the game if they have the steal a creature and a land drop, because then they can just activate this attack, you know, for 11 damage if they have the steal a creature thing. Yeah, so it's a bit risky here, but they did have the upgrade there, so they need to have a specific set of cards to you know, beat my defenses here. So let's see if they do. They have a bloody betrayal there. Do they have a land drop? They didn't have a land drop, so I'm gonna be at 2 now. So do they have another land drop? And now, of course, I will have to do what exactly? Like if they have more than one of these, then I have to be really careful in the next game. I go to 3. So basically, what they no matter what they have in their hand, they have 2 3/3 attackers now. And I don't have a lethal attack myself. I can attack for 10 and they will be at 4. So I can't attack with... I mean, the question is, do I even use the Traveling Minister or do I want to have it as a jump blocker? Because I will play the Bequiler here. There's no point leaving the Undying Malice up because the creature that is going to die is going to enter tapped anyway. So I think I will do it like this and attack with the Purveyor. This way I still have a win for the next turn. And I have 3 blockers, so 1 removal spell won't help them. They need more than that. Gaining 1 life here doesn't do anything because being at 3 doesn't help against these guys. So let's see if they have a betrayal and my rare is gonna be my death. Rending. Oh, that's a spirit. Aha. But hey, even if I gained the life, so if I gained the life, they would have killed one of my remaining. I mean, then this would be tapped, and I would have only the infantry left. And then, of course, they could attack now with 2 3/3s. So I would be now at 1 with 1 blocker. So okay, Bloody Betrayal was. Okay, that was a good set of stuff. I'm gonna actually, with the Rending Flame, I don't care about the 2/5 now. It's a good blocker there, but I don't wanna... How many spirits I have still left? There's still 3, but I don't think I want to lose them, the infantries or the Kindly Ancestor. But how about the Valorous Stance then? Because now I suddenly saw an Upgrade and Rending Flame. I didn't saw either of those in game 1. That said, my sideboarding was to have the Undying Malice instead of the Valorous Stance. But I might now want more of both of them actually. Do I? I guess the Griffin Cavalry is the card is least useful because I'm gonna be on the defensive based on what I saw. So I'm gonna have the Vampire Slayer. It's actually a good. I mean, it's just a 2-drop, and then it can, you know, trade with the vampires they have here. So imagine if this was a Vampire Slayer, the 3/3 would be quite laughable at that point. But did I do some other cuts? Wait a minute. I have. Okay, I did. What did I cut here? I did cut the Griffin Cavalry, but I put the Vampire Slayer in the deck. What else did I cut here? Because this is 39 now. Oh, the Nebelcast Bequiler, and then I get the Valorous Stance. Yeah, that's right. That is right. I think that's it. That seems to be... Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. And yep, that's fine. I mean, I miss my 1-drop, but I still have the white mana here, so all of this is fine. If this deck didn't have an Evolving Wilds, this would be my 9th swamp anyway, because I have this black double casters, so I would have had more swamps than plains. So this would be a hand with three swamps, and I'd rather have my, even though it's a slow white source, I'd rather have it and be able to play these white cards anyway. So I can still play a 2-drop, 3-drop here, which is quite fine. Is that gonna... No, it's gonna be the Slayer first. They didn't have even a 1-drop, so now I'm not gonna be pressured that much, especially because I'm on the play and I have the 1/5 here to block with. Now I see the green mana producer again, but don't really know what's that for. I'm actually going to choose... Well, let's first attack and see what they have. They might have an upgrade on that thing. They did not, so I'm actually going to go with the trainee here instead of the catapult fodder here. Because I can still play the Blood Fountain for mana efficiency, and I have only one white source, so I can't really double spell these white spells in the same turn. Okay, there's an upgrade, sure. They did have it. Well, at some point I might choose to return it, or maybe not. Do they have... Okay, that's another forest. Wait a second. They are missing... So they're splashing for green, and now they're missing their black mana as a result. Maybe they have the deal 5 damage too. I mean, it's not really good against the Blood Fountain. I can just return my stuff. So we'll just play this and the catapult fodder, and then any additional land draw will give me the wedding security now. I even have my tapped land already used too. Okay, so they didn't do anything there. Still no black. How about the red 4-drop then? Magma Pummeler. It's a good one. Oh, well, it would have been a good if it was a vampire. Wow, what a draw. I mean, this was insane. I mean, I'm not gonna say otherwise. That's just insane. There's no training or anything, just do all this, and this is not about to... I guess it is closer to transforming if I get the training back, but I guess they just never drew the swamp, and I don't really know what was the green card or cards they were splashing, but definitely the splash made this game miserable for them. I mean, I don't recall if they had a Evolving Wilds, but if they had a mana base like 7/7/3 or something like that, it's of course gonna be a lot more inconsistent than just a straight two-color mana base. So maybe a bit unexciting the last game here, but because the opponent didn't really get to do much, and I drew the... I mean, this Magma Pummeler would have been quite good against this board. I could have still attacked with the fodder. I could make it into a 2/5 of it. I definitely won't attack with the Vampire Slayer, because then they will block it, trade with the Slayer, and then kill the Minister with the ability from here. But I could have made this into a 2/5 and attack for 2 at least, and if they want to block it to kill one of these two guys, that's fine. But now that I drew the Gift of Fangs for that, so that was basically a game over right there. Okay, so Welcoming Vampire drew exactly 0 cards here. I think I drew it like once, but that was a game where I was already winning and opponent either lost or conceded right away. Purveyor, well, obviously was great, but then again I also lost a game because opponent had the steal effect that they were able to, you deal the 5 damage to me at some point, and well, I mean, that doesn't mean this card is bad. It's really, really good, of course. So that was, I mean, this was, like I said somewhere earlier in the video, that this was my... I have been drafting a lot of these black and white decks in my last maybe 5 to 10 drafts. I think this was maybe the best one of those, or maybe one of the better ones. There was a sweet one there, definitely, at some point, which I already I think I got the maximum wins with that too. But this was really decent. I mean, look at the mana curve here and the creature curve, and I still had removal here in this deck. I had these 2 rares, of course, and the quality of the cards overall, it was just really good here. And there was some synergy in here too. I even was able to do something with the catapult fodder here. So this was just a sweet deck, I think. And the mana base with the 1 evolving wilds. Or I always want to have at least 1 evolving wilds. It's kind of making the mana always a little bit better. So I really would play with this deck again if I was able to do that. Anyway, let's take the grand prize here. I didn't find a mythic rare, but I mean, there's still a lot of time before the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty releases. So I will be completing the set, no big deal. There was a bit of a rush with the Midnight Hunt because it was only active for like, 2 months or so. But there won't be any rush with the Crimson Vow. I will be completing it. Even if I don't find a lot of mythic rares in drafts, I will get there way before the Kamigawa releases. Next one will actually be it will be a traditional draft, but it won't be a traditional draft event. It will be my qualifier weekend. As you can see, I'm recording this now, my local time, Friday evening. And on Saturday, and this video will publish on Saturday, and I will be playing the qualifier weekend when this is publishing. And it is draft. It is Crimson Vow best of 3 draft, so that will of course go to my channel. And this will be the qualifier weekend day 1 will be my next video you will be seeing. And then the next, it is by the way a phantom draft, so it has no. So you don't get to keep the card, so it has no effect on my set completion whatsoever. So it's just a draft format, but still not part of my set completion series. So my next draft will be a premier draft, which will also release on the same day as the qualifier weekend draft. So yeah, next one will be this traditional draft for the qualifier weekend, and then after that it will be a premier draft. So I will see you then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.